So I picked 3 game developers from my Discord community to make a game in 7 days with any game engine of their choice. I have big vision for this series, and the theme for the edition is jam this limited time. So which game dev will make the best game in just 7 days to win the 50k prize pool? Welcome to Clash of Devs. Introducing our first dev using the classic Unity game engine, we have Akin.
Hey guys, Akin here, and thank you so much to Abdulrazak Said for having me. So first of all, I'm talking about the team, which is limited time, and just hearing about the team, I know the kind of game I want to make. So I'll be giving you a hint, which is we know the kind of month we are. So the month we are is the month of October, and what kind of months October does, it's mostly a month with horrors and scary kind of thing. So that's kind of game I want to make, a horror aspect of the game. So that's just the kind of game I'm making. So stay with me as I show you, and stay tuned as I create my projects. Since it's day one, I just imported my assets that I'll be using, and I created two folders for my prefabs and my script. That will be where I'll be storing my prefab and my scripts that I've written. I have created my character, and he's here just trying to. I've written a few scripts to the enemy follow script and the jump scare scripts. Yeah, so that's just what I did today because I've been so busy with school. I just downloaded my enemy AI. I'm using this creepy creature. It's a free asset from Unity store, so I'm using it. So I'm going to import it into my project. So I have just created a new script called time display. I'm using Unity engine. It's day 4, and I'm trying to create my character's flashlights. I'm adjusting the IK position for the flashlight. Still on day 4, guys, and right here I'm adding my animation event for the creature's footstep sound. It's for the sound it's making. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to finalize my game. I'm working on the lightning of the game, trying to make the scene a bit darker, picking colors. The next thing I'll be doing is I'll be adding the music sound effects, the background sound effects. I already got one from the Unity Access store.
There it is. Finally, we got it.
And the next game dev, using one of my favorite game engines, a good game engine, we have Fad Malik.
This is Fad Malik, also known as Fad Malik, and here is the game I made for the limited time game jam.
So when I got the theme on a Wednesday morning, limited time, I started to think of ideas of what kind of game I can make with the theme limited time. Honestly, it's not a bad concept. It's kind of like an interesting concept to make a game of, so limited time. So I then came up with an idea, a runner game, a game that is about the player having to get through a certain amount of rooms, like let me say 15 rooms now, and he has to do that in a certain amount of time, and if he gets to the last room, he wins, and if he doesn't, he loses. And in every room there are going to be different varieties and also obstacles on the way. So with that planned out, I decided to start working on the game. So immediately I got into the Godot engine. I started by creating a 3D world scene. I created a base mesh instance for the floor and added some collision shapes. And then I went to the player. I went to create a player scene, create the player, create camera for viewing and other things also. So from there, I went back to the world to create some levels, some kind of like a prototype level for running, moving, jumping, to test all those features and all that. So I created 2 platforms for wall jumping by the side of them. I also created platforms that the player can jump on top for testing jumping. Then I used a checkers kind of black and white shader for my map mesh material for visual interest and all that. Then after that, I went into my player to script the camera rotation and also the player movement based on where the camera is facing. So in order to achieve walking and also jumping and all those basic movements, walking, jumping, looking around and all that. So after all that, here is the final preview of what I did in today. So after I've achieved basic movements like walking and looking around in day 1, I wrote a script whereby whenever the player jumps and is beside a wall, he can jump off that wall to create this wall jump technique like that. So after I did that, I also created a sliding technique whereby the player can slide under lower objects. So I went to my editor to create some camera animations and then reduce the player height whenever the player is sliding under lower objects and all that. Then when the player is off sliding mode, it stands up again and assumes its original height and all that. So after all of this in place, I've achieved my perfect player movements in the second day. So I moved on to room spawning. I wanted to make a system whereby rooms are going to be procedurally spawned one after each other. When you finish from one room, a next room is already generated and is already after the current room that you are in currently. So I started by bringing in a door that I've already made. In every room, there's going to be a door that you are going to pass to get into one room, to get into the other room. So I brought in a door in which I've already created for my past projects. So I just plugged it into Godot. I animated it with the animation player for opening and closing. I also added some area bodies to detect when an object or a body has entered its given area, which for example is the player. If a player has entered its area, for it to open up and close up, which I went into the scripts editor to script if the player enters this area, open up, and when it's gone, close back. From there, I went to Blender to design a very basic map for testing. I imported it into Godot for prototyping, and then I also included some marked areas in the map whereby the position on the map where the door spawns, and so that the door doesn't spawn in areas where it's not supposed to, but it should spawn at the entrance of the map. So with that done, I want to create a room pairing system. So the system is about when a room first spawns and then another room spawns after the first room that spawned, and also face the direction of where the end of the first room faces. But as it sounds, I wasn't able to achieve that effect, and throughout the day I was kind of having some glitches and errors and everything of that. So that ended my day 3. After a lot of trial and errors in how I can link the two maps by facing a certain direction, I decided to scrap it, like not completely, but instead of trying to make maps that will kind of have curves, bend, turn in 90 degrees and then try to rotate them and face the right order, and ensuring that even if they follow each other, but their orientation of how they turn should be in the proper way. Instead, I decided to just make it all in a linear direction, just straightforward. You're just running like though my maps will still be kind of have some angle 90 turns and all that, but in your main direction, like your main direction is also always going to be forward. With that done, I was able to achieve what I wanted to do. So that just concludes my day 4, because I spent the whole day trying to figure this out. So after achieving the proper room setup and continuity between one room to another room, I went on to Blender to design more room variants and all that. So I just spent the whole of today designing, and not just only designing, but also ensuring that the things that will make the room to properly continue in the map by ensuring the position, ensuring proper face orientation in the geometry. So for the texture to show, and for some other technical things too. So that's all I just did for today, just basically map design and all that. At the end of the day, I was able to design about 8 room variants, which at least is still kind of okay. After that, I went on to look for music, because the game was feeling boring without no audio and all that. So I went to pixabay.com to find some really nice, fast-paced action music that will follow the running as the player is moving through the levels. So did some remixing and tuning, cutting some parts out, and then looping the music over and over again because of the way the game is. So I then brought it into Goodles and then added it into the game. In some part of my map, I created like a pithole whereby if the player falls in, it's like the player is falling into a lava, and then the player responds at the start of the level. So kind of like one of the obstacles that means that's the player from completing the level on time. So today is the final day I tie it all up. So since I've gotten my main system in place, I started by making a simple main menu scene with a room and a camera rotating with some buttons. After I did that, I designed some UIs for the player to check how many rooms the player have gone by, and like how many more rooms for the player to pass, and then a timer for the player to know how much time the player has. So when the timer runs out, the player loses, and then when the player passes a certain amount of rooms, which I set it as 15 rooms for the sake of like the amount of maps I created, I had only 8, so 15 rooms would be a fair amount so that it will not to avoid too much repetition. So after I did that, I also tied up some loose ends, did some bug fixing and all that, tied the audio in, and then after all that, I exported the game and the game is ready to play. Here is the final preview.
And lastly, also using the Unity game engine, we have David.
Hello everyone, I'm David, and for this game jam, which has a team limited time, I'll be making a first-person shooter game inspired by Vampire Survivors and Mega Bomb. The idea of the game is that you kill a certain number of enemies within a particular amount of time. The first thing I did was to create a first-person character that could move and jump. Then I downloaded a small 3D map from the asset store. I also downloaded some zombie models and animation from Mixamo. Then I implemented them into the game. So now you can run and the zombies will chase you around. Next I moved on to implementing the weapons, and the first weapon I added was the knife. You can throw the knife at the zombies when they attack you. I also added a pistol and an AK-47. And fast forward to Monday, because I didn't really work on the game on the weekends, I improved the graphics and I created a small upgrade menu for the player to upgrade. Because when the game starts, you don't have access to the weapons and you have to purchase them. And on the last day, which was Tuesday, I polished the game by adding some sound effects and fixed some of the bugs.
So the 7 days were up, and I thought we should hear from our contestants on a group call. So for this one now that we're having 50k for the prize pool, what would you guys like to use the cash prize for?
Yeah, okay. I don't really know what I want to do for them. Just, I don't know what I want to do for them. Maybe maybe if I win, then maybe I will know what to do. So at least currently.
Well, what I actually have in mind is actually to change my gadget, specifically my phone. You know, my phone, my laptop, it will get new, especially my laptop battery. That is very fast, so I need to get a new battery, and that's just mostly why I'm eager.
Alright, that's normal. I could think of it, hear you on this.
Yeah, so if I win, what I'll be doing is I'll split it into two. So I just have of it to get more storage for my PC.
You can't.
I'm going to, then the remaining half, share it to my other participants too. So
Alright, so that's fine. I will be taking 3 days to access the video and for all 4 judges to vote. So by Tuesday or Wednesday, the winner will be announced in the group and the prize money will be sent to the winner and will proceed on to the next challenge. So I really do want to appreciate all of you guys for participating in this and bringing out your time. So the voting will be carried out by 3 judges, myself, my video editor, and a well-trusted and experienced game developer friend of mine. You can check out his channel right here. So this is just the first edition of Dev Clash. I'm hoping to make bigger and a better version of this challenge with much more broader audience and a much more bigger prize. Don't forget to tell us in the comment section who your favorite game dev was. Thank you for watching this video, and that's a wrap.